Today, I am giving you two options of how to set boundaries when you're working with energy. These are very important, and I want to share them with you because I have learned the hard way that it's very intentional to know who you work with and to be able to shield yourself. I've learned from other mentors and presenters as well as to how to work with energies and the importance of choosing who, how, and what energy you work with. So I wanted to share that with you today. A few years ago, I had the opportunity to teach a class, and I had rented a space for that. And the class went so well, and the energy was so high. And I like to use the word spirit as well. So the spirit felt very strong there. Everybody felt it. Nobody wanted to leave when the class was over. Like there was such a connection and such a community that was built within that space. And um, it was so wonderful. Really, it just was like almost like being on a high because it felt so good to be in that space and everybody felt it. It wasn't just me like being elated that the class was over. It's like everybody was kind of just hushed and still in that space. We had ended it with this beautiful, powerful circle and we had a drum ceremony. And it was really, really beautiful. We'd also had the heart chakra bowl, singing bowl played, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful end to a wonderful class. And so as we were cleaning up, I had a friend helping me. We were cleaning up or getting all the last things. She had got out to the car. I was in there getting the final touches, and this person had come by that I had met earlier in the week as I was like making sure that the space was still okay and everything was a go with that. And I didn't know anything about this person. I had just met them this one time. And anyway, they walked by and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And I said, "Oh, I've just taught this was a wonderful class. Like, you should come in here. Like, the feeling in here is so powerful. It is so cool." And so they, after that short in like conversation, person came in and I was, finishing getting all my stuff out. So I didn't get charged extra and all the things. So I was finishing up closing up my last tote and getting ready to head out. And I noticed out of the corner of my eye, this person was walking around the room really close, kind of touching all of the walls. And I wasn't really sure what they were doing. I just thought it was odd. But, I was trying to get all my stuff done and I was just in such a happy place and I just felt so good. And I was tired. It was, an 8 hour class and I was ready to be done with the day. And so as I walked in to just say goodbye, they rang a Tibetan singing bowl. And as they rang that bowl, the energy completely shifted in the room. The hair on the back of my neck stood up, the hair on my arms was like up. And it just felt really off. And I didn't give much thought to it. I just said, "Hey, see you later," and, headed out to my car. By the time I got home, I was completely wiped out. Like I could hardly move to even unpack my car. And then I thought, well, I've gone from this high of getting everything done to just like, being exhausted now. So tomorrow will be better. I'll sleep it off and then I'll be better. Well, for 2 days, I couldn't move off my couch. It was all I could do to just do the mundane, normal things. And I had, so hoped to do all these things and follow up with people and all of this stuff. And I had absolutely no energy to do it. I had been just closed down. And so I called a friend and I said, "Hey, I need some help. I don't know what's going on. I've just been really off." I had been trying to work on myself, trying to figure out what was going on. And I just was having a really hard time with it. So this friend of mine came over and helped me, and we worked for several hours and realized that there was just a really, really dark energy that had kind of just clung on to me. And that was what was going on. And so I don't tell you this to scare you. I just tell you this to be aware that there are dark energy and there is light energy, and you get to choose which one you're wanting to associate with. I only want to associate with the light of Christ and that beautiful light, goodness energy. So, if you haven't heard that, energy is, yes, energy is energy. It's everywhere, it's all the things. But there really is a difference on what you're putting your intention into as to what you want to tap into or what you're going to allow into your space. I had been in such a wonderful space teaching my class and it felt so good. I hadn't thought to put a barrier around myself because the people I was around that day were all with me, right? They had all been in that same place. And it was this other person that came in that I didn't know, that had shifted everything. And I just had not been aware to set boundaries. So, um, I tell you that just so that you can be aware, you can make good choices. And also, just so that you can be aware of one, be aware of what you're calling in or what you're checking in with. Anytime you go to a session, you might want to check in and make sure that that's going to be something that raises your vibration and elevates you versus bring you down to a lower space. So, number one, be aware of the source you're calling in. Only work with the light. I like to call it the light of Christ. I truly believe that's what it is. If those words don't work with you, don't throw me out for that, but find what words work for you. But I do believe for me, the light of Christ. And as I do my sessions, I always do that in the name of the light of Christ. And so find people that you can trust and know what they're working with. The second thing I would recommend is to always set boundaries for what energy looks like for you. I always knew that there was light and dark, but I hadn't really set boundaries until that day. And then I realized how important it was for me to do that. And so I hope that you guys don't have to experience that. Hopefully, me sharing my experience can save you a lot with that. So, with number one, when you're doing a session or an event and you want to know if that person's right for you, remember just take a few deep breaths, quiet your mind, get tuned into your body, and really feel into what it feels like. Our bodies are talking to us. They want to tell us, they want to keep us safe. So pay attention to that. Listen to what you're being told because you will be guided and you will be shown. Um, and also know that you get to choose, right? You don't just have to work with anybody and everybody. You get to choose. And if it doesn't feel right to you, you get to pull back on that. So always have the intention, at least I have always had the intention that I want to feel elevated and I want to feel lighter. And I would hope that that would be the same for you. Um, the second piece to this, the second point would be to set your boundaries. Take a few minutes and write out what your boundaries or your rules are going to be for energies. Um, you get to decide, you get to set the rules. And so some of these rules could be as simple as asking to be alerted if there is any dark energy so you can remove yourself from it. You can ask to be shielded from dark energies and notified. You could ask for angels from God or your higher power, your creator, to surround you. And you can also ask to be guided by the light and to be able to be shown light and pure light, right? We want to be not deceived. So you can set those boundaries or any other ones that you feel are important. I just gave you a few examples. So um, I also have a video that I feel would be important for you if you are feeling like you have some traumas that maybe you would like to let go of. You can find that at toolstoempower.com. And it is the free grounding session. So you can go in there, you can get the free grounding session. It is about an hour. You just listen along and clear out the energy of trauma and different things that might be holding you back and allow that light to fill you, allow that goodness and that space to fill in. Anytime I work on somebody, I'm always taking out the things that don't feel good for them. And I always in my mind am replacing it with the light, always filling it in with something that's going to raise and elevate your space and your energy. Um, so I hope you don't have to have an experience like mine. If you have, just know that you can pray to have that energy released from you. You can also watch my grounding session and also make sure that you take that time to write those boundaries, set those rules of what it is that you allow into your space and how it is that you want to feel when you work with people. Um, let's see. At the end of the grounding session, I do have like a little bit of a manual grounding that literally just draws you into the earth. If you don't have time to do the whole grounding session, you can do that. Just taking a couple of deep breaths and imagining that you have roots, kind of like a tree growing out the bottom of your feet, energetic roots that just let all of the garbage just drown out of you and balance you back into the earth. That's a beautiful thing to do. So I send blessings to each of you this day. Go out, get yourself cleared up, choose and set those boundaries, and have a blessed day. See you guys.